Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Survival with Fix. We are over here in the Fixxitt412 Theme Park because it's time to start working on a new project over here. One that I've been planning for quite some time, and if you've been on the channel for a while, you know that it has been on my long-range plans for a bit, and I just finished another one of the village transformation projects. The last episode where I worked on the supporter kingdoms mine area, and I think I got a pretty good handle on that. Now I want to bounce back and forth. So basically my plan is to go sort of every other episode between working on either the village transformation for my supporters kingdom or doing, odds and ends in the existing kingdoms of the world, just to further expand this out as we go towards about 6,000 days. My goal is to be done with the supporters kingdom by 6,000 days, and that's when I'm still hoping to do the big movie. So that means that lore situation is going to be kind of in a holding pattern until then. And there's a good reason why. Mine inventory has not updated and may never update. And if it never updates, I have to make a plan. Either I make a 1.19 copy of my world and only ever do the build that I want to include in mine inventory in that, or I learn Blender, or I just skip out on doing the lore segments, and I don't really know where I'm going to land. Now for the movie or for big things, then we can definitely still use a 1.19 version, but I want to always keep this world updated. This is supposed to be a perpetual vanilla world that just keeps on going with all the vanilla updates. So, I don't want to just be stuck waiting forever. So I just don't know. I'm just watching the forums like a hawk and seeing even if the original creator of Mine Inventor ever decides to update, or if someone else takes over the reins, or even just does a patch or whatever that allows 1.20 worlds. I don't even need all the 1.20 stuff. I just need the worlds to download and to upload, and they currently won't, which kind of stinks. But regardless, what I'm working on right now is I'm working on this little island. Let me show you the island that I'm working on right here. So you can see this is the main entrance, and the idea is going to be there's going to be a road that comes off of the castle area that's going to go into each kingdom. So this will be like the animal kingdom, the animal verse over here. This is going to be the fantasy verse, and over here this is going to be probably the thrill-a-verse or something like that, where there's going to be a lot of like roller coasters and rides and all kinds of other stuff. Maybe a haunted area too, just kind of for fun. But regardless, what I need is I need to clear out all these trees because you can see that this connects to a savanna. So what I'll be doing is I'll be doing the woodland creatures kind of in this area, more of the creatures that would be found in a savanna over here, maybe some tropical creatures over here if I really rehab that. And then I have this big area too that I can expand. I mean, we have a lot of room in this world before we get over the desert. And who knows, if we may actually go into the desert and have like a big camel sanctuary right here in my mining desert, I could rehab that too. So this animal kingdom could stretch quite a ways. These animals do need a lot of space to live after all. But that all being said, I'm out of inventory space, so I need to put stuff away. So I'll get to that. I'm almost done with this really, truly staggering amount of tree clearing. I did not think this job was this big, but, well, here we are. So I have done, 4 inventories, I think, worth of trees from this little area. And, I'm trying to figure out exactly how I want to lay out the land. I think I'm going to have to do quite a bit of landscaping, unfortunately. So I'll have to go over and get a beacon because I don't want these cliffs here. I'm going to have some cliffs, but I want to make them where I want them. I want to sort of really get all the land to be exactly where I want instead of just go with the flow of where it is naturally. So that means we're going to have an absolutely massive amount of landscaping. Now, my plan for today's episode is really only address kind of this biome. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a barrier of some sort, probably not like a wall. I wouldn't think, though, maybe we could do like a savanna wall. Why not? That could be fun. And this is going to be I'm kind of thinking maybe, I'm not sure yet. I got to figure out what this is. That looks like that's a jungle over there. So that could be the jungle animal kingdom. Maybe this is going to be like a woodland animal kingdom where we put like, maybe the cows and chickens, something like that, right? And then we'll put the pigs maybe in the savannah, because you have to use Minecraft animals, right? So that does sort of limit our choices slightly. And you might be wondering, well, how far away is the jungle kingdom? I don't know. I haven't been there yet, but this animal kingdom is going to be absolutely huge. That's it right there, right? Yeah, so that could be my jungle kingdom up on the hill where we'll have like we may have some imaginary areas. You have to let me know down in the comments. Like, do you want to see some imaginary animals? Like, should I make gorilla habitats, even though we don't have gorillas in the game? Or should I just do what animals we have in the game? Like, do things like the sniffer and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. You have to let me know down in the comments. I'm leaning on only what we have in the game right now. And so if we did a jungle, it'd be basically like parrots and pandas. Maybe we can figure out something, maybe like tropical fish or something like that. We could do the big aquarium there. But regardless, we're not getting to that today. Today, we're just working on this sort of front area where it's going to be my woodland animal kingdom and the main entrance. So you'll walk through the woodland animal kingdom to get into these different branches of the animal. I keep calling it kingdom. Animalverse. The Animalverse. We gotta get a better name. Well, the next thing I got to do is I have now done a lot of landscaping, and every single time a wandering trader spawns, I check and see if it sells any Nautilus shells. And so I have some sort of on reserve, and I have some of these Heart of Seas just from sort of various what do you call it, shipwrecks that I found over the I guess like years now that I've played this game. And so I have enough that I should be able to make a Heart of the Sea, because I'm going to get into a little bit more landscaping before we actually do the entrance to this animal kingdom. Now let me show you the sort of initial island, and it looks pretty darn good. I'm really happy with it right now. The main entrance is going to be right around this kind of area right about here, and it's probably going to be a pretty big platform on par with up there where I'm going to have like the words like animal kingdom right there. But before we get into that, I got to check out down here, because this is where my big ship ride is supposed to go through. And for one thing, it's not wide enough, I don't think. And for another thing, it's not deep enough either. No ship is going to be able to go down this. It's only a block deep water. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here. I'm going to build one of these conduits. I think I remember how to do it. I'm pretty sure it's like this, I think. And then you do like this, right? Then you sort of just go like this, right? I think that's how you do it. Oh man, I could be totally wrong. I just don't. Okay, that did give me an effect. Okay, yeah, and then you go in every other direction. Yeah, so I'm gonna build a conduit, and then I'm gonna get into some landscaping here as we go sort of around. Now, I haven't done much time lapse here, because I think I actually recorded some, but I just feel like y'all have seen enough Minecraft time lapses of landscaping in your time probably watching Minecraft videos, so I'm just skipping it. I'll show you the end result. You know, I kind of hate admitting how long this has taken just to get this tiny little sliver. Like, you can see where that sand is just over to here, where I've got this kind of worked out. But I decided, I'm going to go all in on this, because look at the difference. Like, when you look at this, it looks like, okay, a river that a boat could pass through. You look at the area that's like over here, and you're like, no, that boat would scrape the bottom. It's just crappier. And like, if you get a little higher up, especially like if you're up on top of rides and stuff, you're gonna look down, you're gonna see this. Look at this. Look at that. I don't like that. I don't like it. I like down here. This feels like a river, and this isn't even textured. I'll still come in and do some texturing to just the all dirt with some various like either mud or soul sand or whatever. But I gotta get rid of all this clay and gravel and sand. I gotta get rid of it, and I gotta like lower like these parts right here have got to be lowered down. This has got to be expanded. So we're going to do kind of a hard right turn. This is going to be a landscaping episode, which I understand is not going to do real well on YouTube because I'm going to have to say, hey, it's a landscaping episode in like the title, and I know what that means. But I need to get all this done. So I'm going to be doing. Yeah, I'm going to go all the way around the castle. And if you look at the map, I'm not going to do like all this. Come on, I'm not going to do all that over there. But I'm going to do all around the castle where the boat is going to go. Because the boat is basically going to go around the castle. That's going to be sort of that ride. I don't know where we're going to get on that boat. Probably over there in FantasyVerse, most likely. But also, I think this island may have to go, or at least be shrunk down, because there is no way that a boat can pass there. So I got some major landscaping to do. But it's going to be worth it. It's going to look a lot better, but yikes, man. Well, we've got all of this replaced. I did about, like 6 live streams, like kind of a crazy amount, but I did all of the dirt. So if I pop out here free cam, you can actually see all of this river that's around the castle. Now, not if you go off on any sort of adjoining rivers. No. I'm not that insane, but all of this river is now deepened to, a reasonable depth, widened to a reasonable width, and also all completely dirt. But the dirt looks way better than this hodgepodge of whatever, but it's not great yet. So before we go, I need to deal with these water areas where I had to peel off like sand or gravel or something like that, and make sure that the water is filling the appropriate way, or, at least stable. That looks like, it would just empty out. It doesn't look realistic. And then I need to figure out exactly what sort of texturing or whatever I'm going to do in the bottom. So I'm going to have to Google some images, figure out some stuff, replace little areas of sand that I missed and things like that. But I'm getting closer. We're getting closer for sure. Let's take a look at some pictures and see what we can come up with. I've been over here, but we're in Steelport because I need some moss. I really want to start with making some rocks over in the, you know, in the along the river edge there, and luckily I apparently have run this. I don't really remember exactly when I ran it last, but apparently I've run it quite a bit. These are all basically completely full, so good job me. I actually apparently thought ahead. Apparently. Remember that kid? Remember that apparently kid? Anyway, okay. So I don't need more than this. This is probably going to be enough. Let's go ahead and fill up since I am, well, apparently in good shape for that. And we'll head back over and get started on the river, man. I love Steelport. I got to work more on Steelport. I want to start, now that we're past 5,000 days, I really want to start modernizing and really moving forward. Like, this is like started Industrial Revolution, and then we started moving sort of towards like the 1900s, and now it's time to move into the 2000s. I think I'm going to fly just for fun. This episode has just taken a really intense turn. I mean, I thought I was going to get all this stuff done, like lay out the, the ground for the zoo and all that kind of stuff. And now all of a sudden we are just on this river, this never ending river project. So it's already starting to look good. I just did a little bit of a test bone meal because I wanted to kind of see at this level of texturing what I'd be looking at once I go around and add in all the seagrass, and probably I'll be adding in some kelp too. I just had some bubbles. I didn't go too crazy. I put them pretty sparsely the whole way around just because I don't want to have just a major lag fest, if that is a thing. But I think that too much is too much, so I feel pretty good about that. Now the next thing I want to add, now that I have basically the soul soil, the mud, and the rooted mud put in, the next thing I think I want to add is probably some cobblestone and some mossy cobblestone, and maybe a little bit of stone or tuff as well. But I want to add in a little bit of stone. Now, I didn't like it the way it was before because of these giant big blobs, and I like this like more sparsely textured area a lot more. So I definitely want to make sure that I don't do big blobs. So we're gonna be doing kind of the same thing. We'll just be adding in, oh look, I missed a spot. We'll just be adding in like little like 2 and 3 and 4 clumps of cobblestone, mossy cobblestone, just in the ground. Maybe also, like I said, some tuff, something like that that's going to bring in a little bit of the gray tone, but gray tone sparsely, not in just these enormous clumps. I think it's starting to look really good. I mean, we still have a long way to go. My goodness, a long way, but we're getting closer. Well, I did a lot more grind here, and I have now a lot of the cobblestone, the tuff, the mossy cobblestone, some smooth stone just sprinkled around. It looks really, really, really good. I put in some kelp sparingly, along with the soul sand, probably about the same amount of kelp and soul sand. And then I came back in with a bunch of bone meal, which I actually had to AFK. I'm kind of out of bones in this world, so I had to AFK for a little bit over at the mob farm in Steelport. But you can see, well, if I don't hit soul sand water elevator, you can see just how good it looks underwater. It's so much better than before, right? It's just so much better than before. This feels like, like a river. I really, really like. The banks leave a little bit to be desired, and that's going to be actually probably the last thing I work on for this particular project. I had dreams of accomplishing more this episode, but I don't think it's going to happen. So what I want to do lastly is I actually want to bring in a bunch of leaves, and I want to leaf down so there's danglers that are like filling up, like see this area right here. This whole area needs to be done something with, and like I want to have some dangler leaves coming over here all along these banks, understanding that as I build more, not here, this is kind of done, but like when I build more over there in the animal kingdom and all that kind of stuff, it's all likely to change because I don't really have a plan of how the front gates are going to look and all that kind of stuff. But for now, it'd be worthwhile to go ahead and do a nice leaf mixture. So I'm going to probably use like mangrove leaves so they're nice and lush, and maybe oak or something else. Oh, darn it. I got some real water flow issues here. I'll have to deal with that later. How did that happen, I wonder? Well, I don't know. Anyway, so I got one more basic project here to go, and then I think we're going to be about done with this really, really, really nice terraformed river. I don't make texture changes very often anymore. I used to make a ton. I don't make them that much anymore. But one of the things I do want to edit is I want to edit this string texture, which, by the way, is called tripwire texture. I searched forever and ever for string before I finally Googled it and remembered that it's not called string. Anyway, string is the item that you have in your hand here, but once you put it on the ground, it's a tripwire texture. And what I want to do is I want to make this a lot more transparent so I can use it on the top of like bamboo and sugarcane and things like that, like, because you can't unfortunately shear. I don't know why you can shear some vines to stop them from growing but not others. I feel like that should be a universal thing. but it's not. So I'm going to be using string, but I don't want to see it. Seeing it really breaks the immersion. So I'm going to make this a lot more transparent. Let's try it right now. Okay, that's like basically no change, I think. I just reloaded my texture pack. I'm going to have to reduce the transparency even further. Let's try it again. Okay, there we go. So it's basically completely invisible. I was going to do transparent, and then the more I thought about it, I'm just going to use invisible, and then in my resource pack, and then if I ever need to remove it or whatever, I will just turn off my resource pack. So that's a way better answer. I don't need to see string on the ground if I use it for, you know, preventing snow or mob or whatever. It's going to be a way better system. So, boom, and you can still see the box. Like if you put it down, you can still see the bounding box there. And again, I can always just remove the resource pack. So, not a big deal. Well, let's sleep and get back into it. I need to put down some bamboo and some sugarcane. I wonder if I have that. Oh, I have lots of sugarcane, but no bamboo. So we're off to the Pirate Kingdom, I believe. Oh, here at Booty Bay. Man, I love Booty Bay. Booty Bay is one of my favorite kingdoms. Actually, I'm working on both of probably my two favorite kingdoms right now with the FixxiVerse Theme Park and Booty Bay, of course. But I'm just here just to grab some bamboo because I do want to use a lot of bamboo for decoration. And yeah, I have more than I will ever need in my life here at this place, because I mean seriously, it just so much of it despawns because I don't use it, and I never even AFK here. I just have more than I'll ever need. Regardless, you know, now that we have auto crafters coming, by the way, I'm recording this way early, way out of order. So I'm recording this the day after Minecraft Live when they announced the auto crafters coming. This isn't going to come out for like weeks from this point, and the reason is because I finally now have a date when I'm going to be able to start working on the new animated segments and all that kind of stuff for the movie and everything. And unfortunately, that date is still, from now, it's still weeks away, a couple weeks away. So that's when I can even start working on it, and I have a backlog of a few episodes. So yeah, so all that being said, you know, we're pre-recording a lot of episodes, but that's okay. It's good to have it sort of banked, and then I can always come back to it later when it's time to actually edit them in. So anyway, regardless of that, happy November or December, everybody. It's still October for me right now. You know, sometimes you sit there and you look at all the work and like, yeah, this river looks so good. It looks so much better than it did before, but you kind of look at it sometimes, you're like, was it worth it? Like, is it that different? I just found a hole. Is it that different than it was before? I mean, yeah, it's a lot different. If you really look at it, like, it looks really custom. It looks good. All this area around it looks better now. Like, I ended up not doing the other side. I only did the bank over there because I know that is finished, and I have no idea what's going to go on over here. So other than these little rock piles, I didn't do a lot on the sort of the outer banks. The outer banks. So if you take a look here, I mean, you know, it's obviously really done. You know, I did a really nice job, I think, at texturing and all that kind of stuff. I do have to wait before I go too much further and let the bamboo and the sugarcane grow, so that way I can make it sort of different lengths, so it's not all, I don't want all the sugarcane to be 3, and I don't want all the bamboo to be like 16 blocks tall. I want them to be more like 2 to 5 blocks tall, basically, for the bamboo, you know. But it does look really good. I think the only other thing that I really want to do is I want to add in some custom trees where I can. And there's not that many spots that I can really add in just the custom trees. And I'm not talking trees. I'm talking like little guys. Like, do I have any here? Yeah, like see this guy right there? Like probably 7 blocks tall, something like that, right sort of on the edge. So you can tell it's a tree and not just a bush, but it's not going to be huge. Because, you know, I'm going to be adding in more of these sort of medieval shopping areas and restaurants and stuff around the castle. There's not supposed to be any rides around the castle. The castle is the place where you go, you just walk around, you know, you sort of bask in the atmosphere of this amusement park, right? So like you would just walk through here and, you know, eat here, go have some cheese over there, and all different sort of little restaurants and shops and everything like that, and just take in the view of the castle, right? So I don't want to put anything up here because I don't know where I'm going to be putting houses. I'm not going to pack them in a lot, but I want it to be really, really, really manicured just to keep people on the path. So like all these little areas will all be done with either statues or trees or something that's going to look like they've been specifically put there for a reason. Kind of like these, but not a stone version, right? You know, you need to make sure that some gardener has made the decision to put stuff there. So while I do the little custom trees I'm going to be able to wedge in, why don't we get to the question or comment of the day now? Instead of the question and comment of the day today, I want to just briefly talk about what is going on with the channel, some ideas, and all that kind of stuff. Unfortunately, the Feed the Beast thing I did address last episode didn't work out because the quest kept resetting, so that's not really a possibility. I do have something new that I'm working on in addition to just continuing to do the survival world. I'm not going to be doing lore segments for a little while because I just frankly don't have time. The animated segments take a really, really long time to do. So rather than just put nothing out, I'm just going to go ahead and put a few regular survival episodes out, and I'll do the lore segments whenever I have a little bit more time in my schedule. I've been spending all of my waking hours on working on the basement to finish for my kids to have an area before I go back to school to continue work on my graduate degree. So I'm going to be continuing the survival series, continuing some live streams when I can from here and from the Realm of Aston, but I also have another little series that's going to be an old school series that I think you're going to like. It's going to be edited back in the way I used to do my hardcore series, so I think you'll have a lot of fun with it. It's coming soon. Well, I gotta say, I am super, super happy with this. I just think it looks really great. So I went in with some coarse dirt and redid some of the sort of limiting of bamboo and sugarcane and stuff. I wasn't totally happy with how I did it, so I redid all that, and yeah, I just think it looks really great. Let me see if I can, let me show you this way. You just see so much. I mean, you just see so much detail where I really feel like every block has kind of been placed with love and care. There's a lot, bushes. They're a little evenly spaced. Maybe I should, bunch some together and spread some out. But I just think it looks just great. It looks really cool. I'm just imagining none of these areas are actually done up on top, so it's hard to imagine what it's going to be like. But I guess from something like this, where you just see it's been built, it's been done, and yeah, I'm super happy about this. If you like it, leave a comment down below if you don't mind. I will see you all in the next episode of Survival with Fix. Thanks so much for spending part of your day with me. I really do appreciate it. See you next time. Bye, everybody.